Hello, true believers. Welcome to my channel, Mr. Miracle Comics. My name is Dave, and today I have 5 more undervalued comic books for us to take a look at. All right, so one of the things I've noticed in my videos lately is a very big lack of DC books to spec on. DC has been kind of hit or miss with their speculation, with their movies and stuff, so I've been finding a few gaps, but I think this week I found a few that are pretty good specs in the DC side of things. Okay, so I've got 3 DC specs coming up today, and a couple more Marvel ones that are not really Marvel ones. So we're kind of touching outside of Marvel in that sort of realm today. All right, we've done a lot of Marvel, and there's still lots of Marvel coming out. Marvel and Disney are going crazy with all of the stuff that they're putting out. DC, they really haven't achieved everything they wanted to with their movies. They've had some, good hits, right? The Joker was a big hit. Aquaman was a big hit. Suicide Squad was surprisingly made more money than they expected. Joker just won an Oscar for Best Actor, right? Joaquin Phoenix, which I think he deserved that one. But they're just, they've slowed things down. They're not sure after Justice League was such a big flop and everything. So they are still putting out some movies, and we know that they're filming right now Suicide Squad 2. Okay, and that they grabbed James Gunn up for that when Disney fired him temporarily for poor tweeting. And so James Gunn's pretty good with these kind of movies, right? He took Guardians of the Galaxy, a franchise that nobody had ever heard of. He was taking characters like Rocket Raccoon, and people were like, "What?" And Groot, who was a giant tree, what? Everybody was pleasantly surprised when that movie came out, and it was so well done, and it was such a hit, and all the characters made sense. I think he's going to reboot this Suicide Squad and really kind of take on that sort of aspect with them. But we have seen some set leaks, and one of the set leaks showed a picture of this character, and she is a good spec book. And I don't know if you look on Reddit or anything for different Marvel leaks or stuff, but as soon as I saw that, I wanted to bring this book up. And it is from, here it is, from 1995. It is Showcase 95, number 8, which has the first appearance of Mongal in it. Okay, so this is Mongul's daughter. Now there's a set leak for Suicide Squad 2 that shows her, and yet you can still find this book. I got this one for $1.50. Right? It wasn't the highest printed run for a DC book, so it's middle of the road. It's not a low print run or anything like that, being in 1995. Compared to today, it has a very high print run as in comparison to today, but for a 90s comic, not that much. She's not the most popular character, obviously, but she's there, right? And if you can buy this book, you can still find it in dollar bins. I found this one at a dollar bin, $1.50, right? So that was a decent buy. I snapped that up right away because I knew there was a set leak, and that was post set leak that I saw this guy. And her appearance in the Suicide Squad, right, just leads me to think, yeah, James Gunn's gonna go a little wacky because like she's a kind of a wacky character, very powerful character like her father. And speaking of her father, if Mongal is showing up in a DC movie, you can very much bet that they are going to set up our next spec. Okay, so this one was from 1995, and it is Showcase 95, number 8. Okay, first appearance of Mongal. I paid $1.50. Don't pay more than $5 for this book. You can go find this one pretty quickly. It's not that hard to come across. So, first appearance of Mongal leads me into thinking they're setting up this gentleman, whose first appearance is in DC Comics Presents number 27, which is the first appearance of Mongul. Right there he is up in the corner. So that's his very first appearance, cover and everything. He's in this book. It's not a cameo or anything. It's his first appearance. This book is from where am I at? 1980. Okay. So this is a Len Wein, Jim Starlin character, right? That's who wrote this book. We all know that Hollywood loves these two gentlemen, especially Jim Starlin. Based on his storyline. Infinity Gauntlet just made a movie that almost made $3 billion. That's billion with a B. So Hollywood's all over Jim Starlin. I'm sure DC, Warner Brothers, is looking for anything that Jim Starlin did with their comic group that they own. Um, Definitely, leading to something big like Mongul, who is a great character. He's like uber strong and a crazy tyrant, and he gives Superman a run for his money on strength wise, that's for sure. I got this book at a comic sale for $22. It's in really decent shape. It's got a couple little spine ticks and stuff, but I put it in the upper mid grade to the very fine. And I've seen on eBay, I was looking around, and they have got some that are going for around the $20-$30 mark. Um, right, so that's pretty decent price for a DC first appearance, which tend to go, jump up in price when we have a movie. Their movies are much farther in between, so you get a lot less first movie appearances with DC, which is one good thing. There's fewer spec books out there, but the spec books, if you're a DC fan, everybody's grabbing for them. I think this one is still going way under the radar. And yeah, for 20 or $30, that's raw, of course. I saw near mint ones on the sold on the eBay for going for 30, plus shipping, of course, depends where you live. So that's a little bit of it added to the price. But I think it's a great spec to grab now, right before there's anything like before the Suicide Squad comes out. Everybody realizes that Mongal is in it, and they put two and two together. We put two and two together already, and we bought this first appearance. So that is DC Comics Presents number 27, and it's from 1980. And again, that's Len Wein and Jim Starlin created that character. So, bit of a pedigree behind him as well, which helps. Okay, so let's do another DC book, and this is my favorite one today on the list. I really glad that I picked this book out for today. And like I said, DC and their movies, and they're going to do more of a one-off kind of deals, right? Which is, I think, is the smart play. You're not going to beat Marvel at their own game. Don't play their game. Play your own game. You be the leader. Say, no, 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 we don't need a big connected universe. I can have an awesome Batman movie, and an awesome Shazam movie, and an awesome Superman movie, and do a villains movie, and they don't have to be connected, right? I can just have their stories, let the writers go nuts with what's going on, let the stories fall where they may, right? Without having to have all this interconnectivity and stuff. And although that's cool, but that's Marvel's jam. Don't try and beat them at their own game. Play your own game, right? And so that's where DC's kind of headed, and I think that's really smart. So I would expect to see better movies and more profits out of DC, more popular movies out of DC. And one of the guys that I would be specking on, and their first appearance comes in this book, and it is the Green Lantern number 141, and it's from 1981. Okay, and it is the first appearance of the Omega Men. So if you're not familiar with the Omega Men, which I'm sure a lot of people aren't, other than the number 3, which had the first appearance of Lobo in it. However, the Omega Men, I believe, are DC's answer to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? They're that kind of character. They're a sci-fi team, a little bit quirky, doing weirder kind of quirky missions and stuff. The comic book was quite well written, and yeah, I really think if they're gonna try and do something on that sort of Guardians of the Galaxy level, these would be their best choice, right? So that's the first appearance of the Omega Man. So looking on eBay, and I have seen this book going very fine plus near mints going for around the $20 mark. Okay, so this is a really, really nice copy, and I paid 15 for it plus shipping, right? So it was about $20. I got it off a Canadian seller. You can still find this for even cheaper than that if you hit an auction, a no reserve auction, and grab one, under the radar scoop. And you could probably find it at comic shows if you keep your eye open from it and save yourself on the shipping. Look to pay around the $15 to $20 mark for it. I see listing on eBay, selling on eBay, 9.8s of this are hitting the $200 mark. So that tells me when our high-end slabs are starting to really climb in price, and this thing is steadily climbing all the time. Other people are believing in the Omega Men as well. Um, when I see the really high end 9.8 start to jump, these guys are going to get dragged up next to it, right? The raw copies are coming next. So grab a copy now while it's still in, that $15 to $30 range, and be happy you did, right? Or not. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I think the Omega Men are a great comic book team in general. So having their first appearance is, it's fun for me. Anyway, be fun for you too. Okay, so that is Green Lantern number 141 from 1981. Look to pay around the $15 to $20 mark for this bad boy. And that's the first appearance of the Omega Man. Like that spec book. All right. So let's do a couple Marvel not Marvels. And that would be the only Marvel not Marvel I can think of right now. This bag's all wrinkly. Is this guy is pretty great. Any tape on that. Nice condition book that I've got here. And that is this guy here, Rom number 14, which has the first appearance of Starshine in it. So recently we've seen Rom number 1, which was a dollar bin book forever and a day, has recently spiked up. People are starting to ask, $30, $40, $50 for their Rom number 1. And we also know that Hasbro bought Rom and a whole bunch of other properties for $1 billion. That's a billion, B-illion. So they're not going to put all that. They want to take those characters and make movies and build franchises like the Marvel Universe. They're already slated for Micronauts. They're rebooting Transformers. They're gonna put those guys out there again. G.I. Joe. All kinds of things are going on with Hasbro and their movies. So, first appearance of Starshine. Rom is one of the properties that Hasbro bought, and there has been more rumors about them trying to make some money off it. Of course, they're going to try and make some money off it. If you can't, he's a pretty obscure character, unless you're my age and you remember the toy from way back when and the comic books from way back when. But I think Rom can make a comeback, and I think Rom, if he had a really good movie, doesn't necessarily have to link in with a comic book so much to be a good sci-fi movie. You know what I mean? So I still think Rom has some potential. So this is the first appearance of Starshine. First appearance of Rom is Rom number 1. First appearance of Starshine, though. Starshine is Rom's partner. She's a space knight as well, right? So if you don't know Rom, he's a space knight. He travels around the different galaxies looking for a group of witches called the Wraith who are trying to take over our dimension. And he uses his nullifier to kill all of the Wraith, and they're shapeshifters and all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyways, this is a Marvel comic. However, Marvel did not own the property of Rom. They just were hired to do a comic book to help promote the toy. Hasbro now owns Rom, and they have their own studio. So they are, I'm thinking, pretty much a lock that they are going to do a Rom movie. Hopefully Micronauts and some other properties actually take off and do well so that they continue to make movies about toys from the 80s, which, makes everybody my age go, oh, I love it, right? I remember playing with these toys. So Starshine definitely would be in a movie if Rom's in a movie. Starshine is almost a lock. It's his partner. It's his girlfriend. It's his better half. So first appearance of Starshine. This book is from 1981. Sorry, maybe I forgot to mention that. I found it again in the dollar bins. Got it for $1.50. Almost absolutely mint condition. This book is in super nice condition. I took it out of the bag because the bag's all wrinkly, and I didn't want you guys to think of that. But yeah, this is easily up in the nines for $1.50. First appearance of Starshine. Like I said, if she shows up, or if there is a Rom movie of any kind, she is definitely going to show up. Okay, so for that, this is Rom number 14 from 1981, which is the first appearance of Starshine, Rom's Space Knight partner. Okay, So look to pay around dollar bin prices for this. Do not pay more than $5, even for an absolutely beautiful copy. Okay, this is way under the radar still. There's no reason to pay any kind of big price for that book. Okay, so let's do another ROM book because nobody specs on ROM, so I love to do it because I like to spec on the books that nobody's looking at, right? Give you the heads up before it becomes a hot book, right? Before everybody's talking about it. And one of the books that people are talking about lately, and I guess this is like a totally Marvel spec. I can't help it. I love them. It is a ROM book. But this time it is ROM number 31. Okay, and this is from 1982. And this just happens to be the second appearance of Rogue, right? So we all know, and I have a copy, but I didn't pull it out for the show, sorry, that Avengers Annual number 10 is Rogue's first appearance. And that book has been getting really, really hot because everybody's specking on Rogue. And Rogue is almost a lock. I mean, and I'm talking the real Rogue with like powers and stuff, not what Anna Paquin's character was. And not that Anna Paquin did a bad job or those were bad movies in any way, number 3, but I want to see the real Rogue. I'm sure you guys want to see the real Rogue. I'm sure the MCU would love to have the real Rogue as part of the real X-Men when they reboot and do their new X-Men movie. So, her second appearance, her first appearance is getting to be quite expensive again, right? We're looking at $50, $60, $100, for raw copies of Avengers number 10, Annual number 10. This one you can still find for $1.50, which is her second appearance. Second appearances are never worth as much as first appearances. However, they do see a jump in value. And if Rogue shows up, I think all of her early appearances are going to start jumping around, right? The first time she joined, she's in an X-Men book. First time she joins the X-Men, which is X-Men 171, I believe. 172, 171. Sorry, somewhere around there. But here is a great spec book. You can find this in dollar bins, right? Look, pay dollar bin prices for this guy. Second appearance of Rogue. Who knew that it was in ROM number 31? However, ROM gets kind of bamboozled by the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in this, and ROM, they trick him into letting them free from prison, which of course, once ROM realizes they're actually bad guys, he stops them. Because he's ROM. He's an ass kicker. He's more powerful than the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants put together. Maybe if Magneto's with them, maybe not. But nonetheless, this is the second appearance of Rogue. $1.50 book. Right, so ROM number 31, 1982, second appearance of Rogue. Look to pay dollar bin prices for that bad boy. Definitely, this is you can pay $5 for an absolutely beautiful mint copy of that one, and that's about as most as I would go right now. But once people realize it's the second appearance, because it's such an obscure book to have a second appearance in, yeah, I would think that this book's going to see not a huge jump in value, but a jump in value, up out of the dollar bins, that's for sure. All right, so that's been our 5 books for this week, guys. Really appreciate everybody watching. I'm almost at 800 subscribers. Last time I looked, I was at 798. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please help me out. Help me push over that 800 mark. Hopefully I can get to 1,000 at one point, and then I can do some live broadcasting from different comic shows here and stuff like that. But those are the rules that YouTube sets out. I need 1,000. Let's worry about getting 800 first. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back soon with another 5 undervalued books. Happy comic hunting out there. And just remember, Wednesdays might be new comic book day, but every day is old comic book day. All right, this has been Mr. Miracle Comics. I'll see you next time.